So I decided to do a video on motivation because my DM coaching question about what is it that you really want to do, but you just can't seem to do it, got so many responses. And the interaction that I had in the comments or in the DMs was really interesting. It showed that there were different reasons for different people, but there were some commonalities. So I want to share with you those insights. First, I'm going to show you some of the common answers. So, why can't I seem to do what I want to do? Some of the things people wanted to do but couldn't seem to do were to eat healthy, exercise daily, meditate daily, do future self work, compete in a sport, clean out the garage, retire, show up on time for things, to stop biting their nails, just to do their homework, or to do chores like dishes and laundry. So those are some of the examples of things that people feel like they want to do, but can't find a way to do it. So here's some more insight about motivation. You will find, if you go to my website, theordinarysacred.com, a PDF on motivation. And one of my big theories is that motivation equals knowing your worth plus knowing your why. If you understand the value that you have and that everyone else has, and you understand the why, you kind of are educated on what it looks like to value yourself, then the motivation kind of naturally follows because we treat well what we value. It's just a natural motivation. One really important factor is, I have the key here, is non-judgmental observation. Shame is a motivation killer. It may seem like shame is helpful. It's an external motivator, but in the big picture, it's going to give you pain. That's going to make you then go back to habits that you don't like. In the big picture, it's going to sabotage your efforts. So self-shaming, shaming of others, not going to help. But these are some really interesting things that came up in the DMs. One is you may not actually want what you think you want. A helpful picture here is that whenever you want to change something, there's going to be reasons to change and reasons not to change. And when your reasons not to change are greater, then you're not going to be motivated to do it. So you might ask yourself, how does not changing serve me? There may be reasons why staying where you are actually seems more beneficial to you, and even reasons that may seem hidden to you. But if you can kind of look at that, you may realize that at least at this time in your life, the reasons not to change are greater than the reasons to change. And that's okay. When the reasons to change get greater, you will feel motivated. A second one that was a really common theme was that the thing you want to do is actually a should. It's something I call an internalized external authority. And one big thing to do there is to know your why, because other people might have told you you should do this, or just culture in general tells you you should do this or you shouldn't do that, but you don't actually know why, right? So researching why, and then you can change your I should to I could. And that gives you the freedom of choice. And then you can ask, do I want to do this? If you do want to do it, then change it to I want to do this, your self-talk. But if you do not want to do it, explore why you don't want to do it. There may be lots of different reasons at different times. It's not a shameful thing. Give yourself permission to not do it at that time if you don't want to do it. And my husband always says, don't shit on yourself, don't shit on other people, don't let other people shit on you. But this is a common thing that we do to ourselves. I shouldn't eat that. I should exercise more. I should do my homework. I should do my chores, right? We're shitting on ourselves. But if you can get beneath that to really explore why you don't want to do it, you'll gain some insight that will really help you. The third one is, you actually really do want it quite badly, but you're afraid. There's a lot of self-limiting beliefs here, or limiting beliefs about life, right? You're afraid of failure. Maybe you're perfectionistic and you're afraid of failure. You might also be afraid of success. And if you do succeed, is your life going to change? Change can be very scary. And then if you do succeed, now what? Or what if it doesn't give you the happiness that you think it will? Then what, right? So there's a lot of fear. And there can also be fear of losing your identity. What if your identity is in this victim or in this type of I am a person who is anxious, or I am a person who fails at this. And what if you succeed and you lose that identity or the attention that you get from it? That's kind of one of those things of a reason not to change. So number 4 is that, let's get the camera here, you're overwhelmed because your goal is too big. So the solution here, it might be, you want to get up off the couch and run a marathon, or you want to clean the garage, right? It's a huge task that you need to break up into smaller pieces. So break it down into super small steps. Commit to a regular time that you're going to devote to these steps. And if you still can't seem to do it, even though you've broken it down into tiny, tiny steps, then you may want to go back and evaluate if you actually want to do it. And you may not, and that's okay. And finally, you might discover that something you want to stop is a habit, like biting your nails or being late. And a habit is autopilot. It means you're unconscious when you're doing it. It's just automatic. So what you want to do is bring consciousness into that habit. And what you'll do is, it's again your non-judgmental self-observation. You start to notice curiously. You notice after the fact, oh, I was late again. And just without shame, though, you just notice it. Then you'll start to notice it during, I'm on my way and I'm late. And then you'll start noticing before, oh, if I choose this, I will be late. And then just watch yourself. What do you choose? And in that moment, be conscious. In that moment of the habit, be awake and say, this is so interesting. I'm doing this again. And just watch how you're feeling in your body and the environment around you. And you'll gain some really, really valuable insight into why you continue that habit. And a change will be natural. Like I said here, interesting. I'm doing that again. So I hope some of those things were helpful to you. There can be all kinds of reasons why we don't do what we want to do, or we can't stop doing what we don't want to do. Shame is going to sabotage you. I want to say that again. A non-judgmental, curious, compassionate witness is always going to be the most helpful. If you want more help from me in looking specifically at something that you want to feel motivated for, or something you want to be motivated to stop, I will be happy to explore that with you in a DM. And just reach out to me and I will ask you questions to help you gain more insight.